In this video, I'm going to show you how to copy a millionaire and duplicate his financial success. Hey, so I've gotten lots of emails and comments about copying a millionaire. I guess there's something out there that talks about that. And so one of the questions you may be asking yourself is, well, why do you want to copy a millionaire? Okay, so I like to think of it as working smarter, not harder. And what do I mean by that? Well, if a millionaire is successful, financially, it's because they've got a financial path, some techniques or methods that they're following and using, and that's what's bringing them their wealth. Okay, so it's a proven technique for them, and so why not follow their formula? And you can duplicate their success for yourself, right? So they're just people like you and I, and if you can follow their formula, then you can get their success as well. So does that sound like something you might want to try? So if it really comes down to this, if you can do the things that a millionaire does, you can be successful. And you already know that it works. They've already proven that their technique that they're using works. And so why not try it? Okay, so follow a successful path if you want to be successful. So the millionaire we're going to look at is someone that has been referenced to me from, like I said, from some of these comments and emails that I've received. And so there's this guy, Andrew Reynolds, who has a Copy A Millionaire program. So just a bit of a background, he's a multimillionaire. He's living in the United Kingdom. And his specific technique is something he calls cash on demand. So he has this technique that he uses, and that's how he built his wealth. And so we're going to take a look at that, and I'll show you what he does to make his money. The bottom line is, though, he sells products that fit a particular market, and that market happens to have a great need. So there's a demand for it, right? So he's selling a product where there's a demand, and that's how he's making his money. And the products that he's selling fall into three basic categories, and we'll go over those categories a little bit later in this presentation. So the first thing to do, though, in his millionaire method is to find in-demand niches. All right, so what are people looking for? What do they want, and what are they willing to pay for? Okay, and so to do this, you need to find and identify what those in-demand niches are, because you want to target those markets. And how he does it, he visits a bookstore or newsstand. And so why is he doing that? Well, he's looking at the magazine racks. I'm sure you've seen these in newsstands and stores where you'll see rows and rows and rows of magazines. And why is that important? Well, it's because these magazines are catering to people that are looking for information. And by virtue of being published, you know that there's a demand for it. So these magazine publishers have already checked it out. They know that there's a demand for information in these particular niches, right? So you want to find niches in these magazines racks that have multiple magazines. So if there's multiple magazines on specific topics, you know that there's a lot of money to be made. Otherwise, these publishers wouldn't be making these magazines. So where can you look? Well, there's fashion magazines, right? You'll see a ton of these. You also see magazines for health and beauty. Lots of people are looking for health and beauty tips, tricks, secrets. Fitness and nutrition, another huge area, so you'll see lots of magazines. What about for the guys, though? Okay, so we'll see sports magazines from all different types. Soccer, tennis, football, track and field, boxing, you name it, it's here. Golf. And also automotive, so for car aficionados, you'll see lots and lots of car magazines. This is a really quick look at some of the popular magazine niches. And within here, you want to drill down and find real specific niches for information that your customers are going to be looking for. All right, so now the cash on demand part. Now that you know the niche areas, how do you get the cash on demand? Well, Andrew Reynolds, what he does, whatever he sells has to be in one of three product categories. If it doesn't map into one of these product categories, he doesn't sell it. So what are the three categories? Well, first there's paper, right? So he's either going to sell a book or a report that is related to one of the in-demand niches that you've seen, okay? So it could be a book or report on how to do something, how to improve something, how to do something better, things of that nature. He also sells digital products, right? So it could be a podcast or a video or a video training series. And those will come on either CDs or DVDs. And the last category that Andrew Reynolds works with are workshops and seminars. Okay, so perhaps there's a workshop or seminar on new yoga techniques or something of that nature. What he'll do is he'll host a seminar, a workshop, and actually bring people into a conference center and provide information to those folks in that manner. So if the product doesn't fit into one of these product categories, he does not he does not go after it, right? So he may have the greatest widget. Somebody may approach him with the greatest widget in the world for a particular niche area. Let's say it's a golfing product, and it's guaranteed to improve your golf score, 10%, and it could be the greatest and easiest thing in the world. Andrew Reynolds is not going to go after that because it doesn't map to one of the three product categories. So it's either got to be paper, digital, or a workshop slash seminar. Okay, so how does it work? Well, for you, what you're going to do is you're going to go check out the magazines. Look in the magazines, what are the most popular niches, and identify an area, okay? Then once you know which area, whether it's health and beauty or sports or automotive, fitness, nutrition, fashion design, anything like that, pick a niche area within there. Drill down and find something very specific. So, for example, maybe it's fitness and nutrition. Well, that's going to be too broad of a category. So you want to drill down and do something like maybe safe exercises for expectant mothers. Okay? Or maybe it's choosing the right car on a limited budget, but it has to be a hybrid. So you give techniques for looking at hybrid cars and how to compare them to find the best value. Next, figure out what your cash on demand product is. All right, is it going to be a report? Is it going to be a book, a podcast, or is it going to be a video training series? Or are you going to give a workshop or a seminar? Then you want to go ahead and build that product, and then finally market and sell your product. So just keep that in mind. Figure out your niche, and then develop your cash on demand product, and make sure it maps to one of the three product categories. So stop. Some of you may be thinking, how are you going to build a product? You're not a writer, or you don't know how to make a video training series, or you can't teach a class because you're not an expert. Well, you don't actually have to do that. Remember, if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that you can actually outsource the creation of a particular product, right? You don't have to be an author. You don't have to be a video camera expert. You don't have to be an expert in yoga. You can actually outsource the creation or teaching of any of these particular products, right? So we've talked about Fiverr.com. You can hire people to write specific sections or chapters of your book. You can also outsource to Fiverr.com or Elance or Odesk, and you'll find people there who help you do podcasts. They'll do voiceovers. They can actually create the video content for you. They can do the video editing. Anything like that, you can actually outsource and find folks willing to do it for you. And then for teaching a class, from a workshop or a seminar, what's to stop you from hiring a local expert to teach that class for you, right? So you're hosting the class. You bring in this expert instructor. Now you will have to pay them. That's not a problem. But you pay them out of your profits that you're going to make from the hundreds or possibly even thousands of people that attend your workshop or your seminar. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You can outsource. You don't have to be a writer or a teacher or anything like that. You can actually outsource all of this work, and that's one great way to make money. So what are your next steps? Well, first you got to think about actually doing this, right? So you put yourself in the right mindset to copy a millionaire, right? Think about what we talked about. And then perform the strategy that we showed you in this video. So number one, take a look at magazines, figure out what that product niche is, okay? And then once you figure out your niche, you've drilled down, you found something very specific, choose a cash on demand product that you're going to develop and make sure it maps to one of the three product categories, either a book, a report, a CD, or a training seminar, right? So you've got paper, you've got digital, or you've got like webinar or seminar series. And then lastly, be sure to promote your cash on demand product. Okay, you can do that on blogs. You can make posts on a blog. You can post your product on different forums. Car forums, health and fitness forums, anything like that. You can also use Craigslist. That's free advertising, classified ad, and that can include a link that points to your product, either your website or something of that nature. Don't overlook social media. That's a great avenue for you to share your product. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, anything like that. You can actually pay for traffic. That's pay per click. Google AdWords, and you can select certain keywords, and you can pay a small fee and have traffic driven to your particular website. And then if you're not sure how to do any of these, you can actually outsource some of that work through Fiverr. You can hire someone on Fiverr to do some of the marketing and promotion for you. And then also, talk about video training. I wanted to make sure you folks knew about udemy.com. If you've created a video training series, you could post it to Udemy, where you'll find hundreds and thousands of different video courses, and they do some of the promotion for you. So that's a great avenue to use. Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to click on the subscribe button below to see more tips, tricks, hints, and secrets for making money online. Make a plan, take action on that plan, and start living your dream.